everyone, my name is Anna. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, today I'm gonna show you how to make mini apple hand pies. Well, mini caramel apple hand pies. These are absolutely delicious, and due to COVID, I feel like it's really important when you're having a get together or something like that to have like little individual things that people can just like grab, and you don't have to like really cut or do any of that sort of stuff. So I've done mini pumpkin cheesecakes. Now I'm making mini apple hand pies because they are delicious and they're really easy to make, which is the most important part, at least in my opinion. I'm gonna show you what we're going to need so we can get started. For the crust, you're going to need all-purpose flour, salt and sugar, really cold water, apple cider vinegar, egg yolk, and butter. As you can see, I cubed mine into tiny little pieces, and that's exactly how you want. And I'm also adding a packet of vanillina. This is Italian vanilla powder, but of course you don't need to add it. I usually have it on hand. When I went to Italy, I bought like a whole bunch. I know you can find them on Amazon too, and it makes your pastries taste absolutely amazing. For the filling, you're going to need salted caramel sauce. I already have a recipe, so I'm gonna show you. I think it should come out like around here, but any salted caramel sauce, sugar, a little more flour. I have cinnamon, ginger, and allspice. And of course, you're going to need some apples. I like to use Granny Smith apples because they're really tart. And in my opinion, it really goes well with the sweetness of the caramel sauce. Is a really nice contrast, which I love. You can do Honeycrisp apples. I wouldn't recommend doing Red Delicious because I feel like it's too sweet. I personally don't like it for apple pies, but yeah, this is what I like to use. If you don't want to make your own crust, just buy pie crust from the store and it works fine. But I mean, this crust is absolutely amazing. I really recommend making it. It's really simple. You can either do it in a food processor or you can use one of these. I had this in the fridge overnight because you really want it to be, telling you, all the ingredients for the crust needs to be really nice and cold. The first thing we're gonna do is add our sugar and salt, and I'm just gonna give it a quick mix. Add your vanillina. This stuff smells absolutely amazing. If you can get your hands on it, it's really worth it. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is add our butter. Grab it and add it right in there. You want to do rocking motions back and forth and just cut that butter into the flour until the butter is about the size of a pea. And obviously I'm gonna go ahead and do that and show you exactly what you're looking for. Okay, this is looking fantastic. We're almost there. As you can see, we got something that kind of looks like this. And now I'm going to add my egg yolks to the water, and I'm just going to give it a quick little mix, and I'm going to add it right in there with the apple cider vinegar. And now with a wooden spatula, I'm going to mix everything together. And at the beginning, you're probably gonna be like, there's no way in heaven that this thing will come together. And all I gotta say is, trust me, it will. And now onto a clean surface, of course, I'm going to add everything. And now we just want to put it together. So you can see, it will come together beautifully. As soon as it came together, I'm gonna let it be. And now we're going to wrap it in some plastic wrap. And now we're going to wrap this and put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. Okay, and we have our beautiful pie crust ready. We're finished with our dough. It's in the refrigerator. I actually have one here that I did last night, just so I could have it ready. Now we're going to start with our apples. You want to peel and core your apples and dice them very, very thinly. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back once I'm ready with everything else. One more thing I wanted to mention is to make sure you have some lemon juice ready, and I'm actually gonna pour it right into the bowl where I'm going to be adding my onions, and so that's going to prevent you onions, your apples, and that's going to prevent your apples from kind of turning brown. Okay, I am almost done with my apples, and as you can see, I am cutting them very, very tiny. The reason is, first of all, these little hand pies are really tiny, so obviously you want your apple pieces to be really tiny so they can kind of like fit in the little hand pies. And another reason is that I am not going to be cooking this in advance. Reason being, I do not like soggy apples in my apple pie or my hand pies. I like the apples to have some sort of a bite. Obviously, since we are cutting these really tiny, they are going to cook faster. So, meaning that, you know, they won't be really, they won't be like hard, but they won't be extremely soggy. If you like yours like that, I recommend cooking it in a skillet for 1 to 2 minutes, but these are perfect for me like they are. And now to this, we're going to add our cinnamon and nutmeg and all that good stuff. Mix it around one bit. Okay, we're also adding the sugar. I'm not adding a lot of sugar, even though it might look like a lot of sugar. I'm not adding a lot of sugar because remember, we are going to be adding caramel sauce to this, so I don't want it to be too overly sweet. And then I'm also adding some all-purpose flour, and that's going to prevent them from getting too liquidy. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of salted caramel sauce. Okay, and now you're just going to mix everything around. It's gonna look somewhat like that. Okay, so that's done. We're gonna put that aside. Now we're going to start working with a pie crust. Remember, we took this out a few minutes in advance, so it's easier to roll. You want to nicely flour your surface and your rolling pin. Now we're gonna bring this bad boy over here. Okay, and now we're just going to roll this. Okay, make sure you move it once in a while, otherwise it's going to stick to your surface. And of course, we do not want that to happen. Okay, so we flour it very well. This truly is the most beautiful pie crust ever. You don't want this to be too thin, but you don't want it to be too thick either. Okay, and you also need to have your oven preheating to 375. For this step, you can either use a cup like I'm doing, or you can use a biscuit cutter. You can do a cookie cutter. Okay, and you want something kind of like this. I don't know if you guys can see, but you want something like about that size. You're gonna need egg wash. And what I like to do, I go ahead with my egg wash and I roll it around on the edges. Add a little bit of apples right in the center. We need a top part. Beautiful. And now with our fork, we're just gonna go around it and press it down, press down the edges. And with our knife, we just want to make 2 little slits right in there. Okay, and that is kind of what you want. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest. Okay, so now I have a few ready that I'm about to pop them into the oven, and I just want to show you, you want to brush them with the egg wash so they get really nice and golden brown and lovely. Okay, and now we're going to add some sugar. I'm using raw sugar. Okay, and now these are going to go into the oven for 18 to 20 minutes until they're nice and golden brown and delicious. I'm gonna show you exactly what they look like once we're there. My hand pies are done and they look and smell unbelievable. Like literally amazing. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's raining cats and dogs outside. So I'm gonna finish filming. I'm gonna make myself a pot of chili. By the way, I have a recipe for that on the channel. I'm gonna leave it right up here. It should come up right about now. And I'm gonna eat like 3 of these because why not? I mean, these are delicious. These came out so amazing. And as you can see, they look absolutely beautiful and crispy. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add a little bit more of caramel sauce on top. I should have melted this for a few seconds, but that's fine. this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little bit or a lot, depending on how much you want. I'm making a mess, but whatever. Now I'm gonna cut it in half. These are still pretty hot, but can you guys see how flaky and delicious that crust is? It is so beautiful. Now I'm going to try this because this wouldn't be a cooking show or a cooking channel or a cooking video if I didn't try them and make you jealous and make you want to get into your kitchen and make these right away. I can tell you this crust beats any crust. It is just so incredibly flaky. Not even kidding. I can probably, and I have eaten 3 of these in one sitting. I hope you guys make this because my other batch is ready. I hope you make this, and I can tell you that everyone that you serve this to will absolutely fall in love with them and ask you for the recipe so you can send them over to my channel or my website. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.